Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new EPG podcast. I am Alina Arsani, Head of Energy Systems, and together with my colleague Alexandru Ciocan, Senior Researcher within the Energy Systems Department, we will discuss about our most recent report on hydrogen, the future of hydrogen in Romania, dispelling myth from reality. Hi, Alex.
Hello, Alina.
Before starting the discussion about hydrogen, I would like to introduce you a little bit. Alex is an engineer. He started working at DPG at the end of 2023. He has 10 years experience in the field of hydrogen related technologies, renewable energy sources, lithium-ion batteries, and he held various research positions, at least at the ICSI Institute in Râmnicu Vâlcea. But he also has experience in energy policy. He was a senior advisor within the Ministry of Energy and contributed to the drafting of the Romanian National Hydrogen Strategy.
Thanks, Alina. Thank you for the introduction and great to be here.
Well, Alex, before diving into the subject of the insights from our report, I would like you to do an introduction about hydrogen, how it is produced, because I think it is necessary to do this exercise.
Yes, sure, Alina. There are several technologies how hydrogen can be produced. We have water electrolysis, we have steam methane reforming, we have pyrolysis, thermolysis, and from most of recognized technology is steam methane reforming, which is widespread at the moment. But right now, in the context of renewable energy development, water electrolysis is coming on the top of the table, okay? Because we want to develop more renewable energy resources, and renewable hydrogen is seen like the perfect binder in order to promote renewable energy as a source of decarbonization.
So, having this, let's put this into the context. We have the EU objectives of decarbonization, and hydrogen will have an important role within this process, right? And coming back to how hydrogen is produced, we have the electrolysis method that involves hydrogen production from renewable energy sources. That it is the most desirable for the following, for the following decades. We have the current steam methane production based on fossil fuels like natural gas. And we also have the possibility of, let's say, hydrogen production from nuclear energy, which is the pink hydrogen,
Okay.
blue hydrogen involving steam methane reforming with carbon capture and storage technologies. So these are, let's say, not the full the full perspective, but just to have a brief overview on the types of.
For sure, we have to keep in mind that all these technologies comes with a certain footprint, carbon footprint. Okay, depending on the source of raw materials, even though we're talking about water, okay, natural gas or biomass, and also coming from the energy in the process. Okay, we have nuclear energy, we have energy from the grid, also we have renewable. Yeah.
Okay.
Depending of the raw materials and energy from the grid, let's say, we have the footprint of the hydrogen.
Okay, good to know that. So we have seen, let's say that we have seen at the EU level strong steps in supporting hydrogen, at least renewable hydrogen. We had in 2020 was proposed the European hydrogen strategy. Afterwards, the Repower EU plan came with more ambitious targets in terms of hydrogen production and imports. We have 10 million tons per year until by 2030, both production and imports. Then we have the amendments to the provisions within the revised renewable energy directives, the targets for RFNBOs, and also some support schemes we have seen at the national level within EU member states, but also the European Hydrogen Bank. So, given all this spectrum, where does Romania stand?
Okay, where does Romania stand? That's a good question. During the last year, Romania developed its own hydrogen strategy, which is a quite complex document. Okay, which comes with a strong action plan. The need of investment is quantified to almost 4.8 billion euro. It's supposed to produce 153 kilotons of renewable hydrogen. Taking into account that what we have today, it's almost 200 kilotons of hydrogen, which is mostly steam from steam methane reforming. All this quantity of hydrogen, which is supposed to be produced in Romania in 20 before 2030. Its aimed to go to half of it in the mobility sector and the other half in industry. Considering the existing industry, which is fertilizer industry and somehow refineries, and also in the new industry, which is still making industry, it's supposed to make the transition from the blast furnace to direct reduction iron, and in this regard, we're gonna use hydrogen to decarbonize that sector.
Okay, so you know that we at EPG we have closely monitored the process. We contributed with observations. We participated to the discussions, to the public consultation process, and as I see it now, the draft hydrogen strategy looks better. It is more aligned with the decarbonization pathways because. Supports the hydrogen from renewable energy sources, meaning renewable hydrogen. But at the start of the document, we have seen a couple of faulty narratives in this direction. Um,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
there are two versions of the strategy which has been sent it for public consultation. That was in May last year, and the other in November. I have to mention that right now the strategy is going through the process of obtaining environment assessment. What's the differences between the first and the second version? It was that in the first version, Romania targeted somehow also the energy sector. We wanted to see and to quantify the uh, needs of hydrogen for the gas turbines and also for using somehow in house appliances. In the last version, the ministry focused only on the industry and mobility sector, which is the objective of the level of the European Union.
Okay.
Just to go to the hard to abate sector, you have to keep in mind that hydrogen is a premium product. It's will be expensive at least in the first coming years. And in this regard, we cannot use a premium or okay, an expensive product in all the sectors. We have to focus only on the hard to abate sector. And in this regard, we have fertilizer industry and steel making industry and okay, also somehow the mobility sector.
But it is quite interesting that now you sit on the other side of the table, because you kind of you contributed to the development of the strategy, and now sitting on the other table, you can bring some observations to it. But it's somehow like playing chess with yourself in a way or another.
Yeah, okay. When you are in a public administration, okay, you have to listen all the others uh, institutes, okay, all the other ministries which want to adopt hydrogen in their sectors. Right now, somehow we you are more quiet to express yourself and mention which are the best sectors, okay, which are sectors which brings added value in when you want to use hydrogen. Hydrogen cannot be used like a fancy subject. I mentioned that somehow it's a silver bullet, and we contribute to the decarbonization in any sectors. Okay, we have to use hydrogen where we don't have the option of direct electrification. In many sectors, have the option of direct electrification.
Okay. I just wanted to point out that for us it is very important that you join the team. We have started recently to increase our capacity on the hydrogen topic, and I think that you bring added value to the team, strong added value to the team also through your experience within the ministry. Coming back to the topic of hydrogen being expensive, because it is indeed, we have seen a hype on this subject of the hydrogen economy, and I think that we, at least based on scientific data and research, we have to look more carefully on how developing the policies, the public policies on this direction. And let's talk a little bit about the myths that we are dispelling within the report, because they are related with the price of hydrogen. So during the development of the national strategy, we have seen at national level these faulty narratives. Um, Maybe they were based on the lack of knowledge on the use of hydrogen. Maybe they were used as a supporting mechanism for, let's say, for natural gas. But I think that this is important to explain a little bit the fact that renewable hydrogen will be more expensive compared to other types of hydrogen, because this is what we have heard within the public consultation, that people were saying, let's not focus on renewable hydrogen because it will be too expensive.
Okay, at the moment, renewable hydrogen is expensive, but there are premises to reduce that cost of hydrogen. This premises comes from the reduction of the investment in electrolyzers, and also from the reduction in the cost of fuel. We have to know that the renewable energy is the component which have the largest share in the cost of hydrogen.
Okay, but maybe it is important to present just briefly the price structure, the LCOH, like it is composed of.
Okay, mostly we have the investment cost, which is the CapEx, okay, in the electrolyzers, and we have also the cost of electricity, which is the largest spectrum. Okay, we have the cost of water and other operating costs, which is have a small contribution. The main cost in renewable hydrogen is the cost of investment in the electrolyzers and in the goes with the energy.
With the energy. Okay, good. And well, I will. if I'll be the supporter of, let's say, using natural gas for producing steam methane and hydrogen, I will say that Romania has the resources from the Black Sea. The Neptune Deep announced investments, and following these investments, maybe an increased supply of natural gas will contribute to the reduction of the energy produced from natural gas. And what do you think about that? And maybe the gray hydrogen will be more competitive compared to the renewable one.
Okay, right now we have gray hydrogen, which is somewhere around 1.5 dollars per kilogram. Fossil fuel hydrogen it's cheap in this moment, and also Romania coming from a country which use extensively natural gas. Okay, and we also have the premises of exploiting new uh, reserves of natural gas. We expect to continue to have a low price of hydrogen coming from fossil fuels. But also we have to have in mind that Bruxelles the policy goes to uh, okay, maybe in a medium period phase out also natural gas. And also we can have the new renewable energy directive. We have EU ATS revision directive, which aims to have an strongly increasing price in CO2 emissions. In this regards, we have to see if the cost of gray hydrogen, which remain as cheap as it is today. But
Yes.
if you take into consideration that the prediction of CO2 permits goes 2 or 3 times more in the next decade, and the premises of reducing renewable hydrogen, it's expected that around 2030, the prices see the cost of the renewable hydrogen to see somehow around the cost of fossil fuel hydrogen production from natural gas.
Okay, so basically, following the EU ETS revision, the cost with CO2 emissions will increase, and also with this is aligned with the EU's aim to phase out natural gas
Yeah.
by 2040. So potentially by 2040. So
That's what
yes,
EU wants to phase out natural gas. Romania it's on the opposite direction. They want to explore more natural gas. Okay, yeah, we have resources. We have to be sure and to be clear how we want to develop these resources in order to don't put in risk our objective of obtaining uh,
climate neutrality by
climate
2050.
neutrality in 2015.
Okay. And well, we have renewable hydrogen that might, at least from our point of view, based on the report, will be competitive by 2030, competitive with gray hydrogen. But also, it is also the topic of blue hydrogen.
Yeah, okay. The topic of blue hydrogen is also a narrative in Romania, which somehow comes from the use of natural gas. Romania want to extend the use of natural gas, and somehow they look to bring it to blue hydrogen. Blue hydrogen is somehow a combination of low production cost of hydrogen combined with capturing and storing CO2 emissions. We have in this regard to know that the state of the art of technologies mentioned that only 85, maybe 19% of the CO2 emission can be captured and stored. And somehow we have several barriers in terms of in terms of infrastructures. We don't know, and we don't have infrastructure for capturing, storing, and no, transporting and storing CO2
CO2,
emissions.
CO2. Alex, let's also discuss about the myths on hydrogen consumption. So, at least at national level, we have heard that hydrogen was touted as a um, replacement for natural gas in various applications, such as home heating, combined cycled gas turbines, and also CHP. What do you think about this?
Okay, obviously hydrogen can substitute natural gas in several sectors, not in all of them. We have to see where hydrogen brings added value. Uh, it's right that being a country which doesn't have a lot of industry anymore, we see that the trigger from hydrogen consumption right now comes from the householders and also from energy sectors. Somehow the industry, or which is fertilizer industry or steel methane, steel making industry, don't have a lot of plans in how to use hydrogen in 2030. And in this regard, if Romania wants to use hydrogen, we see where they goes. And in this regard, the narrative is from the DSO of natural gas, for example. And we have seen recently a study of the gas grid, which had a pilot project where mentioned that up to 20% hydrogen in mix of natural gas is a solution and don't harness somehow the network and it's possible to use it in Romanian appliances.
Okay. So, but what about this 20% usage of hydrogen blended with natural gas? Doesn't involve like efficiency losses or because we know that there is a different pressure between the two types of
Uh, there are several studies that in the research part, let's say, which where the conclusion are a bit divergent because there are studies which remark that up to 20% hydrogen in blending with of natural gas doesn't have any risk, okay, and the energy efficiency okay is reduced because the hydrogen low calorific value is 3 times less than compared with methane. Okay, and the other studies say that okay, the CO2 emissions will decrease, but we have to see to make a deeper analysis to see what happens with the NOx emissions and also with the monoxide emission, and to see if really hydrogen brings a real contribution in decarbonization and don't harm us other potential risks.
okay. And coming back to the use of hydrogen within CCGTs or CHPs, because what we have seen is that the current draft hydrogen strategy well eliminated that provision. However, if we look at the draft updated National Energy and Climate Plan, we see there that as of 2036, natural gas will be fully replaced with hydrogen in at least
Yeah,
in these appliances.
there are two things that could be mentioned here. One, theoretically, it's possible to use hydrogen in a CCGT and in a combined heat and powers gas turbine. On the other hand, Romania wants to continue their investments in this kind of technologies. We have through the recovery and resilience plans a lot. Okay, one call, and we have another call from by the supported by the modernization fund, which aims to develop new combined heat and powers capacities. And also we have CO Oltenia, which already have approval of the for the investment of in a new CCGTs. In order to fulfill the requirement from the taxonomies, these investments supposed to use a percentage of hydrogen, and when the hydrogen is available to make the transition to hydrogen. But we have to know that in this regard, hydrogen is ineconomical. I would say it's costly and also extremely inefficient. Producing okay, having renewable energy in the area or in the area of Dobroja and producing hydrogen to use it in a gas turbine don't looks like a
Optimal solution, right?
optimal, let's say optimal, yeah, optimal solution. Okay,
And just for our viewers that maybe they are not from Romania, Teoltenia is the company producing electricity from coal, and through its decarbonization plan, receives state aid for various investments. Good. Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna say that the cost of hydrogen, okay, will continue to promote, okay, the use of natural gas in this gas turbine, and also somehow to put pressure on the consumer bills and make Romania to not reach the objective of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 2040.
Okay. So basically, we highlight the same thing that we mentioned earlier, that public policies should take into consideration various, or let's say, cost benefit analysis when assuming
The new
various
investments,
new
okay.
investments in, yeah.
And not only this, we have to see which is the where is the infrastructure and how we ensure that quantity of hydrogen for these mm, capacities because that needs are large.
Okay. And also, in terms of renewable energy capacities, we have to be aligned with this policy of using, let's say, hydrogen for CCGTs, because, as you mentioned, we
Only
will need large
only with to
renewable
what we
capacity.
have in strategy, we see that for that 153 kilotons of hydrogen, we're gonna have more than 4 gigawatts of renewable. Let's take a look what means to replace all the natural gas with hydrogen, and taking consideration that in the moment Romania has around a bit more than 100 terawatt hour in natural gas. And that quantity of hydrogen, 153 kilotons of hydrogen, means somewhere near a bit more than 10 kilowatts hour
Okay.
of energy. That means we're gonna have at least 10 times more capacity in rest for replacing all the natural gas in Romania.
Well,
That's a lot.
that's a lot. Yeah. So, and just to close the loop on this hydrogen consumption topic, I would also ask you about the hydrogen in transport. So within the report that we launched in April, we did a comparative analysis between fuel cell electric vehicles and batteries electric vehicles, and well, what were the results?
I'm going back a bit to the previous question. Just mention that we never happened to replace all the natural gas with hydrogen because wide infrastructure needs time. Coming back to your question, okay, it's difficult to make a comparison between battery electric vehicle and fuel cell electric vehicles because each one has his own advantages. Okay, if you talk about the cost, the efficiency, the range, the fuel infrastructure, it's hard to say which is easier to address. Right now, we have that the trigger it's somehow favorable for the battery electric vehicle due to the fact that the economy of scale made an larger development of infrastructure. But there is still room for fuel cell electric vehicle at least in the heavy duty transport, and also it's room for hydrogen in producing synthetic fuels for aviation and maritime transport.
So currently, when we look at the passenger vehicles, the let's say battery electric vehicles, they have the more preferable context
Upper,
with the economy of scale of batteries than than the infrastructure, the developed infrastructure. But for heavy duty transport, may hydrogen might be the solution. And still, for the first category, for passenger vehicles, we will still need to see what will happen with the fuel cell electrical vehicles when they will economy of scale.
yeah. First, we have to reduce the price, the cost of vehicles, and in second, we have to see that in terms of okay efficiency, which goes to cost per kilometer, it's 3 times more when you use fuel cell electric vehicle.
Okay, okay, yeah.
But
This
in a
is
world
an important insight.
dominated by uh, electric, a lot of electric vehicle, we have to see where how you charge your vehicle because right now you still need an important period of time to recharge your batteries, which goes from 13 minutes to maybe more than 1 hour, depending of the voltage that you use when you recharge your battery.
Okay. Um, well, and moving to the transport, let's say the transport of hydrogen, uh, we have heard from various sources that the refurbishment of the grid of the network is can be easily done. Is this right? Or
Okay, there are studies that's which say that's okay. Pipelines like, are not are suitable to be reconverted to hydrogen. The problem with hydrogen is that produce cracks in the structure of, for example, the steel, because the most of the pipelines are from steel. Uh, Another aspect in this regard is that we also have alongside the pipeline, we have other components of the network. We have valve, we have compressors, we have all of the that which have to be adjusted to hydrogen from safety considerations, also from regulatory.
okay. So when discussing about easily refurbishing the pipeline, we should look at all this
Have to look
spectrum.
all the value chain of hydrogen transport.
Transport.
Yeah,
Okay. And
apparently the hydrogen transport as a gas in a pipeline is the cheapest way for the short distances.
okay, interesting. And for long distances, what about that?
Okay, for long distances, we have to look to other alternatives and to compare if they are okay, if they are more economic feasible. We have ammonia, we have liquid hydrogen, organic hydrogen carriers, and also we have liquid hydrogen, which looks to be more competitive in term of cost. Reported to the transport of hydrogen as a gas in pipelines.
Okay. Um, I think that mostly we covered most of the myths, but I would like before ending this podcast to take the highlights from each of the sections. So we have hydrogen production and the comparison between various types of hydrogen. What we are saying is that renewable hydrogen will be competitive by at least by 2030.
Could be, and it's
Could be
expected to be.
it expected to, yeah, to be competitive. Then we have the hydrogen consumption, where we are saying that we should do a careful analysis before uh, um,
Considering.
considering the use of hydrogen in CCGT, CHP, or for home heating, because various indicators should be taken into consideration, and most importantly, the cost benefit analysis.
Okay, I think here Romania have to decide which is the sector that want to support more. Okay, or to start which is the sector to start to support, because don't coming from the industry and also don't coming from the ministries. Okay, from the government, Romania could be led behind, and the production of steel and fertilizers in Romania be could have some issues in the next coming years in terms of selling that products.
Okay, so Alex, myths aside, we at EPG we consider that hydrogen should be used in value-added appliances, but it will be a limited number of these value-added appliances, and mostly in heavy sector, heavy-duty transport, and also energy applications.
As I said, in hard to abate sector, then that sector which don't have the option of direct electrification.
Good, yeah. So.
Usually in the sector that right now use natural gas to produce gray hydrogen.
Okay, so to conclude our discussion, I think that it is important to highlight some of the recommendations that we also sent to the ministry, and we included them in the report. Well, we consider that public policies on hydrogen should be substantiated through evidence-based data, and also cost-benefit analysis should be taken into consideration um, before highlighting the objectives. But also, we think that at this stage, mapping financing sources will be very useful to attract investors in the hydrogen sector and to develop the hydrogen economy, because of course we will benefit from that. So we should take these steps. But
Okay, first I would say that we have to align some documents. because we have the hydrogen strategy, but on the other hand, we have national energy and climate plans. We have also the long-term Romania long-term strategies, and the vision for hydrogen it's a bit different. On the other hand, okay, we know that the Romanian hydrogen strategy it's as I said, it's quite comprehensive, but there's some points where need to be improved. And what I want to say it's there's very few information about hydrogen infrastructure of transport, hydrogen potential hydrogen storage solutions, and also it's almost nothing about hydrogen import or export of hydrogen import and exports. Romania could take into consideration to assess one of these points, declare even if it's importer of hydrogen, also could be exporter of hydrogen. And on the last point that I want to mention, it's we have to prepare workforce
The workforce,
for
yeah,
a
yeah.
hydrogen economy. We have to
Develop the
train
skills.
people, yeah, to, yeah, train people to have more skill in
On this
this
topic.
regard. Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you, Alex, and thank you all for watching. You will find the link to the report within the description of this podcast. And if you liked it, hit the subscribe button. Thank you.
okay. Have a nice day.